Basically, it's the one thing that you cannot survive without.
Correct.
I mean, you can survive a while without food.
Yes.
But you can't go very long without water.
No, you can't. And we're like 70% water in general, but like the lungs are 85% water.
Wow. Are you underwater? It's Hunt for Wellness, episode number 46. Welcome to Hunt for Wellness. I am John Hunt.
And I'm Christy Hunt.
And this is the show where we help you live your best life, mind, body, and spirit. We're going to touch on all that today in this episode, which is brought to you by waterdistillers.com. Great machines that produce great water for great wellness. Go check out the full selection over at waterdistillers.com. And, you know, today we're going to be talking a lot about water. So
yes,
it was a great way that sponsorship can kind of connect together because water is really key.
Absolutely.
You know, when we talk about mind, body, and spirit, water really can affect all those areas. And we'll get into a little bit of that today, right?
Yes.
So where do we start? Water, it's like, you know, you need earth, wind, and fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's the basics.
Well, it says in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and the Spirit was hovering over the water before land was formed. Yeah. So it was like the first thing.
It was all water. Yeah.
It was, And water is talked about a lot in the Bible.
Oh, it is, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and the parallels, the streams of living water.
Yes.
You know.
We're baptized with water.
Yeah. There's a lot of,
Jesus turned the water into wine.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
It is cool. Yeah, and water is one of those things where basically it's the one thing that you cannot survive without.
Correct.
I mean, you can survive a while without food.
Yes.
But you can't go very long without water.
No, you can't. And we're like 70% water in general, but like the lungs are 85% water.
Wow. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
So when someone is underwater, I suppose that has a lot of meanings. It's not like you're definitely drowning underwater, but you might have not enough water.
Yes.
And you talked about that a little bit, about dehydration.
Most people are dehydrated chronically. So in the U.S., 75% of adults suffer from chronic dehydration, drinking only 2.5 cups a day on average because they are drinking like caffeine, which dehydrates. Yep. So even though they might be taking 7 cups of liquid,
it's not the stuff that's
net balance is 2.5 cups.
Right. I even know too, like why people drink a lot of water while drinking out, or by working out.
Yes.
The water helps create oxygen, which helps you,
Well, it's like you need that for your lungs.
Yeah.
Because your lungs
really
are 85% water.
Yeah. That's
why when you're aerobically working out, you feel like you've got to have more water.
Yeah.
Because you're breathing so hard.
Yes.
You're kind of drying them out.
Okay. So where do we go from here? Because water, we could take this from a bunch of different angles.
Yes. Well, we talked last time about the renal system, the kidneys, and how they filter the blood, and they do the fluid and electrolyte balance. And I felt like we needed to talk about water more. And we talked about Feridun Batman Gelage, the Iranian doctor who was imprisoned, and he had nothing to help the other prisoners who were coming to him with significant health problems. And all he could help them with was to tell them to drink water.
Yeah.
Like drink water, like 2 cups every 2 hours, I think was his basic message.
Yeah.
And all these people were healed basically because God created the body in a way to heal itself when you provide it with the right things, such as water. And so when he was released from prison, he was a political prisoner, not because he committed crimes, but he researched water, and he's written several books about water. And basically, we all need more water, but it needs to be balanced with electrolytes or salt. So he recommends using a high quality salt, such as real salt, that's a brand, or Himalayan salt, which are basically underground salt mines from ancient seas that are pure. So it's purer than sea salt because our oceans are more contaminated with a lot of stuff, if you know anything about that. So these salts are purer, but the real salt is in Utah, that real salt mine, and then the Himalayan salt is in Pakistan.
Wow.
And all salt is basically sea salt. You know, because these were ancient seas that held this salt. You can go online and look at pictures of these salt mines, and it's really cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It really is.
Okay, so the salt helps, it does help retain some of the water too, right? Is that part of why?
And this salt has minerals in it.
Okay.
Like refined salt is pretty much stripped of its minerals. So that's why you want more of a raw salt.
Okay. So he's saying add salt to your water.
Yes. So you can add a little bit of salt, or you can add electrolytes with like electrolyte drinks.
Yeah.
You know, and you need to figure that out yourself and do some research yourself on it. He has a website, or another man has created a website called watercures.org, which really explains it. And again, this is more informational that we're giving out. You have to be careful too, anybody with significant health problems, congestive heart failure, kidney disease. This isn't the thing for them.
No.
You know, they need to talk to their doctor about their hydration levels and things like that. But it seems
like just about everything, even like, you know, weight loss or, you know, exercise, anything, you're always going to enhance it by having more water.
Yeah.
You know, water is kind of like the key thing. If you had to pick just one thing, pick water, you know. And, you know, I think about some of like these movies where, you know, the guys are, you know, out in the desert and they come in there, you know, dehydrated, and, you know, they just want water. You know? They don't want food. They want water.
When you don't have water, oh my gosh, that's all you can think about.
Yeah.
And I know when I started learning early on, if I would drink 2 glasses of water in the morning, I would literally wake up.
Yeah, water does wake you up too.
It does.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It's cool. Now, I wanted to ask you about the purity of water.
Right. Well, you know, waterdistillers.com is our sponsor, and we're going to link some videos too over there that Frank Mendez has gone through a lot of, in more detail of what I'm going to tell you about. But like, you know, all water is not alike. So, you know, you have tap water.
Yes.
Tap water is water that's been treated with lots of chemicals at your local municipality, you know, with good intentions, you know, to make it safe to drink. But there are so many contaminants in that water, and the government standards for those contaminants are actually very low. If they had to have really high standards, cities would not be able to create water for the city system, and
you wouldn't be able to afford it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to afford it. So you're kind of in between a rock and a hard place there. You know, the water is technically safe, but you're getting a bunch of bad stuff in it at smaller doses.
Like what?
Well, things like, you know, but even things like iron, which, you know, occur naturally, but arsenic, you know, different municipalities have different things that, you know, fertilizer runoff goes into the water system and, you know, somehow finds its way to the treatment plant. Well, they can't get rid of all of it.
Right. a few episodes ago, we talked about atrazine being 94% of the drinking water, which is a fertilizer that is bad for your health.
Right.
And changes frogs.
Yeah.
Feminizes frogs. So what's it doing to the population?
Right. And a lot of times people can, they can just smell or taste their tap water and realize something's not right here.
It doesn't taste good.
Yeah. So the different levels of purity, the basic level is just to filter your water. I mean, there's those pitchers.
Yes.
It's basically a charcoal filter that takes out, let's just say for the sake of this conversation, about 25% of the bad stuff.
Okay.
It's still better using a filter, and there's, like the...
Than just drinking plain tap water.
I mean, there's things like the Berkey water system and all these things out there that are, they're effective at taking out a certain percentage of the bad stuff, and it's filtered.
Yes.
It also helps change the taste a little bit too, but doesn't necessarily take out all the bad stuff. Mm-hmm. So the next level, which is probably the most common that a lot of people have in their homes at least, is called reverse osmosis. Mm-hmm. And let's just say that maybe takes out 50 or 60% of the bad stuff. Mm-hmm. It takes out more than filtering, because basically it's 3 levels of filter, sometimes 4, plus a final push through a membrane. So it's just processed and filtered a little bit more than just a basic simple charcoal filter. Mm-hmm. That again takes out more stuff. It's safer to drink than just straight tap water, but you're still getting contaminants in your water, and depending on how much of a purist you want to be. And the by far the purest water you can drink is distilled water. Again, our sponsor is waterdistillers.com, but distillation is a little more complicated to make, because what happens in distillation is there's a boiling chamber. So let's just take a gallon of water and put it in a boiling chamber. It boils it up and changes it to steam. And in the process, all the volatile gases and all of the stuff that you can't see, let's just call it like things like iron and those kinds of things, literally stay and float to the bottom
of the boiling
pot. The steam rises, then the steam escapes through a little coil, much like you'd see in a radiator, and then it's cooled down and it's turned back into water. But in the process, everything is taken out. Mm-hmm. So you can't say 100% pure. You can say 99.9% pure. Nothing in it. And some people say, well, you're taking all the minerals that you need out of the water, because you gotta have minerals, like we talked about before. Mm-hmm. But a better way to handle that is to drink pure water, and then get your minerals through either supplements or through green vegetables.
Good salt.
Yeah, salt. I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can add it back in. But if you take all the bad stuff out and take some of the good stuff out too, but you're left with pure water, pure H2O. That's where that's the ultimate in purity, and you see distilled water used in the medical profession, in hospitals. I mean,
in the IVs,
because it is
clean.
Pure. It's pure and clean. There's really no other way to do it. So that's why we like to promote distilled water. Now people will talk about, but
also rainwater is distilled water.
Essentially the same thing, rainwater.
Yes.
In an environment where you can,
if it's not going through dirty air.
Yeah, dirty air or dirty ground.
But I mean, if you just collect rainwater, that is distilled water.
Yeah, it's basically like it mimics the hydrological cycle.
Yes.
And some people say, well, actually, it's better for you to have a pH that's alkaline. A lot of people, we drink alkaline water, they say, or whatever, because, the pH of that. Well, actually, the pH of distilled water is as close to neutral, not alkaline, it's not acidic. It's right in the middle, and which is more like what you want naturally. Mm-hmm. So again, you can address some of those other issues through other means like supplements and good organic food and things like that. But if you want the purest water, distilled water is the way to go.
Yeah. And we've been drinking it for
almost 20 years.
20 some years without any problems.
Yeah. and we're still alive.
We're still alive. We're doing great.
Yeah, it's good. So I think, I do think it's, and once you start drinking it and then you realize you go back, if you are somewhere where, like even a restaurant where they don't use filtered water, you can, like,
the taste
is so
gosh.
dramatic, you can't even drink it.
Right.
Because distilled water really doesn't have a taste to it.
No, it actually tastes good. It's like clean.
Yeah, very clean.
Smooth, good water. And I know why a lot of people don't drink water, because the water tastes bad because there's a bunch of junk in it.
Right. And people say, well, what about bottled water, like spring water and stuff like that? I mean, you can buy distilled water in jugs, and that's a good way to start. But if it sits on a counter or a shelf there at the store in a plastic jug for a long time, you're going to start, that plastic is going to start leaching into the water.
Yeah.
So you don't, having your own distiller is the ideal way. Buying it in, jugs is even better, or is not, is better than doing nothing. Mm-hmm. And if maybe you can take those jugs and transfer them into glass holding containers versus plastic, that's going to let you hold on to that water a little bit longer too. So we like distilled water, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So, okay.
Well, just a little bit about going back to that chronic dehydration.
Yes.
That most people are experiencing. Like that you can have foggy memory, irritability, your gut can be slow, causing like constipation because there's just not enough fluid there. Middle of the day fatigue is most likely due to low hydration level.
Yeah. Well, cleansing too, a lot of, I think we talked about this on one of our previous episodes, even for things like, we've known people who've had kidney stones.
Yes.
And the way that gets treated is basically they try to flush it out of you.
Fluids.
Fluids. But more particularly, distilled water. Distilled water is very good at cleansing because it grabs and takes things with it. Mm-hmm. It's not leaving anything behind.
Right.
So
no contaminants.
Another good use for distilled water.
Yeah. And so, we've talked also about electrolytes, having electrolytes in your water, which are just minerals that have an electrical charge to them. And you can lose electrolytes when you sweat.
Yeah, when you work out, for sure.
In your urine, those kinds of things.
Right.
So they do need to be replenished and replaced, and eating good organic food, fruits and vegetables particularly, really help. But if you might need some supplementation.
Right. I bet Young Living has some things like that.
They do.
We are Young Living brand partners.
Yes.
And I can tell you firsthand, I know one of them is Aminowise, right?
Yes.
Because I use that every day after working out and during working out because it just helps replenish. It helps me replenish the energy for me.
Yes, it does. It does
because it is the electrolytes, right?
It is replacing that. Yes. And so that's a fantastic thing. Even if you're not working out, you can use Aminowise. Yeah. And that's a great thing to use every day. We also have Young Living Electrolyte drops, which add some flavor to your water, which make it taste good, but are giving you those electrolytes. Yeah. So sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, I just drank a whole bunch of water and it's just like rolling around in my stomach. Yeah. You've had that feeling before. That's because your body's having a hard time absorbing it. So adding a little bit of salt, electrolytes can help you absorb that water better and really take advantage of it. Yeah. And when you get really hydrated, fully hydrated, you might think, oh my gosh, I'm going to be going to the bathroom all the time. Actually, no. Once you get acclimated to it, your body adjusts. Your bladder can hold more. Yeah. And I've been finding as I've been working on this a little bit more, I'm not getting up in the night. Yeah. I'm not needing to because my body is being adjusted.
It's more in balance, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. That's awesome.
So also, Young Living has a mineral essence. It's a daily liquid supplements of minerals that's really easy for your body to take in. And what I would say is just put it in a little shot glass with a little bit of water. They say take it with a lot of water, but I like to take it in a shot glass and just kind of swig it down and then follow it with water.
Yeah, definitely. a shot of mineral essence with a chaser of water.
Right, which is so good.
Yeah.
And then just some other things to help drink water are adding essential oils to your water.
Yeah, some people who don't like to drink water, some people just don't like drinking water, probably because the water they're drinking is not good.
Yeah.
I bet if they got to distilled water, they probably would like drinking more water.
Yes, absolutely.
But then if you want a little flavor in there, that's where these a lot of these oils.
Yes, like lemon or orange, peppermint, even cinnamon. All these are so good. They make the water taste really good. They're good for you, supporting your health, especially the citrus ones are uplifting to the mood. Peppermint is energizing. And grapefruit. Grapefruit is sweet, not bitter. Because oftentimes you think of eating a grapefruit is kind of bitter. Yeah. But the essential oil of grapefruit is sweet.
Wow.
Tastes really good. I love it.
Good. Yeah. And we've talked about those in many episodes. We will link all of these products in the show notes over at hunt4wellness.com. Go to episode 46. And you can just check these out. And they're not real expensive either. I mean, these are things that can be everyday use, not, pennies really. Yeah. On a daily basis, but really good for you, help you get hydrated more, and taste good too. Yeah. That's the great thing about it. It tastes good. The Aminowise tastes good.
It does.
Yeah. It's like drinking a little fruit drink.
So I think the key is drink more water. Yes. But get your electrolytes in there too. Yeah, get your electrolytes and make sure you drink good water. Yes. You're going to want to drink more water when you drink really good and pure water. So check out that. That would be a perfect segue into the sponsorship of today's episode, which is by waterdistillers.com. Great machines that produce that great pure water that you need lots of. And there's all kinds of different models over there. If you don't know anything about water distillers, we're going to link to the videos as well. Frank Mendez does a great job describing, how to buy a water distiller, what you need in your situation. So check it out over at waterdistillers.com. And then we'll be back next time for another episode, this time above water. Yes. Right here on Hunt for Wellness.